This is Jeff Pearlman, founder and CEO of Xojo, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build Hello World, a simple app for Android using Xojo. Now I'm going to do this demonstration on a Mac, but the experience would be exactly the same on Windows or on Linux. When you first launch Xojo, you see the Choose a Project dialog box. I want to create an Android project, so I've got that selected, and I'll press Create. That brings up the Xojo IDE. And let me make this window just a little bigger. There we go. And in the middle of the screen, I now have an Android screen, a blank Android screen. Now, typically Hello World just displays the text Hello World, but that would be kind of boring. So let's make it so that the user can type their name and see their name as part of the Hello World message. So I'm going to grab a text field, drag that out, and let's resize it. And then we need a button for the user to press to see their message. Great. And I'm going to go ahead and rename this button. Okay. All right, now we need to write some code. But before we do that, fields and other controls are auto-named. In this case, a text field, or at least the first text field you add is text field 1. That's not a very appropriate name, so let's call it name field since the user is going to type their name. And since there's no label, because labels are not very common in mobile apps, let's use the hint property so they know what to type. Enter your name. There. Now they can see that text, or that hint rather, so they'll know what to do. All right, the last step is to write some code. Now, we want the message to appear when the user presses the OK button. So that's where the code will go. I'm going to double click on the button, and this brings up the Add Event Handler dialog box. These are events. These are things that can happen to a button. A button can be pressed, which is the most common thing. And so that's what I want to respond to. So I'm going to press OK. And now we're in the code editor. And I'm going to use a very popular command in Xojo called message box. And I'm going to put hello world, comma, space. And then I want their name. So that's in the name field. But I don't want the control. I want the text in the name field. So I'll type a period and then text. That refers to the text of the name field. And finally, let's add an exclamation mark. Okay, we can go back to the screen. We're actually ready to run the project now. Let's give it a try. I'm going to press run, and Xojo's going to compile the app to machine code. It's going to build a completely native Android app, and then it's going to launch the Android emulator so that we can test out our app. By the way, you can also run your apps on your physical phone. If you have an Android phone, you can plug it into your computer with a cable or use Wi-Fi to test as well. But I'm going to use the emulator in this case. Here it is. So I'm going to click and I'm going to type my name and press the OK button. And bang, there's our message. There's the message box command displaying our text. And that's it. So I'll press stop to stop, and we're back in Xojo. And if you go over to build settings, click on Android, you can see over here, Android debugging. There's the device. That's my emulator. And I also have a phone hooked up, so I could debug straight to my phone over Wi-Fi if I wanted to. So that's building a simple Hello World app for Android. And of course, while I built this app with a phone layout, it would work just as well on an Android tablet. Thanks for watching.